first, I also think that demons look a certain way, but after listening to this story, you will agree with me that the real monsters are humans, because how can a human commit such a heinous crime with his own five daughters for a full 20 years? And the biggest fact in these 20 years is what was their mother doing? And you will be shocked to hear how this human was finally caught. Welcome back, guys. I am Ali, and you are watching Melds Snippets. This elderly man, standing in the police lineup, faces grave allegations. His own five daughters have accused him of rape. Friends, this story begins in 1992 from Bharatpur, Rajasthan, when a government officer gets married. A couple of years later, a baby girl is born in his house, and this is where the root of this entire crime starts. Let me tell you, a few years later, when this girl grew up, this man started committing atrocities with his own biological daughter. Just imagine, how low can a government officer's mentality sink that he does this to his own daughter? And later, I will also tell you what their mother was doing. But before that, know that similarly, a couple more years later, another girl is born in their house, and 2-3 years after that, another girl. You will be shocked to hear that by this time, when all three girls had grown up, this man started committing this crime with all three of them. The level of brutality had increased so much. His own wife helped him in committing this act. Just think for a moment, we usually think that the outside world is very dirty, but how low can a mother and father sink with their own daughters? This story is a huge proof of that. Similarly, two more girls are born in the same house, and for a full 20 years, this act was committed with them. The brains of those girls were washed in such a way that they were told this is a ritual. This happens in every house. You have to do all these things with your father, and the biggest hand in this brainwashing was their own mothers. I felt like crying hearing this, how a mother who gave birth to 5 children from her womb. When the older daughters refused a couple of times, saying they wouldn't do this, he beat his daughters in a very vile manner. After seeing this, the other 3 younger girls got scared, thinking that we also shouldn't say no to our father for this, otherwise we will also be beaten badly. The eldest daughter was now mature, and she was mentally so disturbed that one day she went to school and told everything to her principal. The principal directly calls her mother and says, "Your husband is doing these things with your daughters. Why don't you stop him?" Her mother's response will make your hair stand on end, because her mother says, "Our daughter was asking her father for a mobile phone this morning, which he didn't get for her. She's going to school and telling you such things. Nothing like this is happening. I am their mother. I live in this same house. Such things have never happened with me or in front of me." Hearing this, the principal laughs and scolds the girl, saying, "You won't get a phone at this age. Go to your class and start studying." A few more years passed like this, and now this man's granddaughter was also born. One day, those 5 girls and their mother go to the market for some work. When they return home and see this, they are absolutely shocked and start crying. Their own father was doing the same thing with his granddaughter. That had been happening to them for 20 years. So the 2 older daughters scold their father for this again, but then they are beaten with sticks again. They are thrashed, and the girls get major injuries. The next day, the second eldest daughter goes to meet her friend. Seeing these injuries, her friend insists on knowing what happened to her. "How did you get so many injuries?" At first, out of fear, she doesn't tell her friend anything. But after a lot of insistence, she breaks down crying and tells her friend everything, how such atrocities have been happening with them for the last 20 years. After that, that boy gives the girl courage, saying, "I will support you. If such a thing happens again, tell me, and we will get the police and have your father arrested." So that's what happened. The very next day, that man was committing the crime with his granddaughter in plain sight. Seeing this, the blood of those 2 older daughters boiled. They call that friend and tell him that right now their father is doing this to his granddaughter. That good person goes to the police station, arrives at the house with the police, and the police catch the man red-handed. After that, the statements of those five daughters are taken, and based on the statements, their mother is also arrested. No one had ever thought how their own parents would ruin their lives completely. That was the story of a father. Now, a daughter, a young girl, is stuck in such an addiction where she is doing that work with 50 minus 50 boys, which she absolutely should not be doing. And how did that girl's life end? Click on the video to definitely check it out.